With the new year comes new beginnings in life, in the markets, and on our show. Last year, we sat down with interesting professionals to break down investing to make it easier to understand. We talked about some popular and unpopular investing myths. We talked about debt alpha and how one of the best investments you could make is in yourself. We bantered around building a resilient portfolio and explored alternative investment. And we dove into the life of a successful entrepreneur to find out what works and what doesn't. Now, the question is, what comes next? Well, that's what we're here to answer. My name is Onisa Asuche Naholo, and today we'll talk about what this new beginning means for us and for you here on the Market Lens. Last season we had 10 episodes, and we read your comments. I know after the end of every episode, I ask you guys to comment, and we actually go through them. We love some of your comments. We heard that you love our intros. We work on it a lot, and a lot of people said that it was insightful, and we listened to that. And that has informed a lot of what we're going to do in this new season. We're going to do a lot of new things in this new season. We're going to be looking at the market from a new lens. And now a major change we're going to make is we're getting a new co-host. Someone is going to come join me here. And together we're going to tackle the markets. We're going to interview new people, and have even more interesting conversations. And so I'd like to introduce to you guys for the first time our new co-host, Isoke.
Hi guys, I'm so excited to be with you guys in this new season of Market Lens. I know we'll do great things together. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing great things. So, Isoke is going to join us, and you're going to be seeing a lot of her. And we're going to be having conversations that will bring you in, conversations that are going to be very relatable so that you really understand what we're talking about, right? And we want to give you the best of both worlds. We're going to give you the energy, we're going to give you the technicals, right? So that you understand what it is we're talking about and how you can apply that.
yes, we'll be giving you a fresh market perspective on everything, what is happening in the country, what is happening in the world, just like a better way for you to understand everything happening around us.
And if you've not already seen, or if you can't already tell from her voice, she brings an upbeat personality. I
Yep.
know I can be a bit more, but she is a lot more upbeat. So expect, get used to her voice and expect to hear more from her. Before we go into the next thing we want to talk about, welcome to the 45th of January. How's your bank account doing? I hope you hopefully did not wipe up all your money. It's okay. How
Well,
much obly did you do in December?
well, I'm feeling it in this January because January is looking longer than
Mm-hmm.
what's, and I think it's like, I don't know if I'm alone in this, but
You're not alone.
can I?
January has 150 days. So
When does it end?
that's like a money mistake of the month, though. December
Yeah.
to January. And it happens almost every year.
And sometimes you don't even plan for it, it just happens.
I think
Like,
that's why it happens, because we don't plan.
yeah, you don't plan for it, and December, just come and take it comes and takes all the money away.
And there's always something to do in Lagos, right? So and that's the money mistake for the month. Hopefully it doesn't happen December 2026. Yeah.
Yes, and I hope by then you guys will be loved smarter and smarter investors.
Yeah, you should be. If you want to be smarter investors, keep watching the show. Season 2 will make you smarter. I
Don't
promise.
worry.
So now it's okay. Tell me what excites you the most about market learnings?
We are making finance information more relatable to people because the common man don't really know what it is, but we breaking it down, making it more relatable to them, and even teaching them things they don't know is what really excites me about this whole experience.
Yeah, yeah. Funny enough, there's something that I tell people, and I'm not throwing shade at anybody, right? I'm not throwing shade at anybody. But a lot of the content that I see online, at least in the Nigerian space, is more if you had invested so amounts in the market in January, this is what you'd have made by now. It's like cool, but hindsight is vibrant. How would we know we're supposed to invest that amount in the market at that time?
Okay, so I just think that a lot of people have FOMO, which is like fear of missing out, because when people say things like that online and everybody's just running around, it's just because they feel like, okay, that's the next big thing. A lot of people don't even do research because somebody is saying this thing. They just want to go with that flow, which is why we are here for you, because we're giving you only the right information, only what you actually need for safe investments and to navigate the markets.
Exactly, exactly. You have two analysts here, and then we'll also have other professionals here that's going to come in and
Exactly.
give you what you need. All right, another question for you, right? What do you want viewers to gain this new season?
What I want viewers to gain is just a new perspective that um last season they learned a lot, because I think that on this show we had like a lot of good people. We
Yeah.
had people from different finance. I always say finance is not broad, but at the same time it's a bit broad because everybody call it finance, but people do different things. We saw people from asset management teaching you how to manage your assets. We saw portfolio managers that even help you manage your assets when you don't know how to, like, they just make it so easy for you. We saw like people that do alternative investments, that do different things. So I feel like in this new season, we'll be giving them more of that, like a lot more experienced people, even people that have been been in this space for like years, and just listening to them is just going to change everything for you, because little informations like that actually
Yeah.
make a big difference, especially from experienced professionals.
Exactly, exactly. Right. I want to talk about what we want to expect in season two. But before that, I want to touch on some of the highlights from season one. Just in case, there's a person watching that hasn't seen the first season, right? Maybe some personal favorites, favorite moments, favorite insights. All right, so I know for me, one episode that really stood out was the second episode where we spoke to Emmanuel and he talked about depth alpha. So just listen to what Emmanuel said about depth alpha. And so we're just going to walk through that magic. But before we get to that, can you just tell us about your approach to portfolio building and what you've learned over the years of your career?
Yeah, this is very interesting because I think, starting from portfolio building, it's actually about controlling the risk of your assets and actually getting to financial freedom and staying free in that space, because you can get there and someone else can pull you back into the whole struggle. And coming to your question, what I have learned over time is that um, the start of it is not to spread yourself too thin, because I know the concept of diversification is out there and everybody's singing it. But I think it's more going in depth in a particular sector, say banking, like Tony maybe did, uh, in the cement space, like Dangote did, before you spring up, then spread your wings. So for me, I'll call that depth alpha.
Oh, okay. Depth alpha.
So you get into your alpha space, and if you are a salary earner, your alpha can also be invested in yourself so much that you earn enough returns or enough salary that you can slice and dice into asset classes. So in my experience, portfolio building, takes a bit of time. Check Dangote's history, check Tony's, check Elon, check Warren Buffett, check the other very rich persons that have gone on to the other side of financial freedom, as you termed it.
Yeah.
They keep investing because it's a lifelong journey and it's a habit. And consistency is key.
All right, so I love the concept of depth alpha because it's very practical, which is the point of this show, right? You can tell people, oh, invest in stocks or oh, invest in yourself, but if you're earning a certain amount, right? Let's say in Nigeria here, if you're earning 100K and you say you want to invest in bonds, that doesn't really give you the best returns in monetary terms,
Yes.
right? And so depth alpha is like, instead of putting that money into bonds that might give you, even if you get a bond that gives you 25%, if you earn 100K and you're only able to invest, let's say 20K per month, right? That's 20K, 25% of 20K, that's nothing,
You're
right?
actually very correct, because I feel like that is why sometimes the media can be misleading, because
Yeah.
they'll tell you if you make so amount, you should be saving so amount. But in reality, what you really need is to invest in yourself, because no matter how small that money is, if you take it and like learn something that can triple or double your income, that way it's faster for you to even start investing. And when you start
Yeah.
investing, your portfolio grows better.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, essentially that. So I love the concept of depth alpha, and just building your skills. Is there any episode or any insights that really stood out to you from season one?
Yes, a lot actually, but one of them is with Muyiwa Rio. I really like the episode because I think for a young person like me, starting out in my career, listening to him, he has years of experience. Just listening to him, his whole journey, how he started, how it went, how he actually wanted to be a police officer.
Yes, I remember that.
But then he found investment banking, and now he even managed a company. So the whole journey was what I picked from that episode is that no matter where you are, just have an insight of where you're going to. Never lose track of where you're going to. And if you stick with the plan, it may take time, but regardless, you get there.
Yeah, yeah. I think I remember something he said that is very similar to that, along the lines of, yes, I know I asked him, when do you know whether to plant your feet and persevere and when to pivot, and he said you should have like a plan A, a plan B, but once your plan A doesn't work the first time, it doesn't mean you should pivot immediately. Maybe we can just play that clip so you can hear that.
When you're going into any process or any journey, business decisions, life decisions generally, from the onset you would have, you know, thought of the process. Where you're going to, what do you want to do, what do you need to get to that point. But it's also very important that even when you have your plans well set out, there should always be that plan B and at times plan C. They would be there. But you say to yourself, you're not going to change course from plan A to plan B on the first order that you meet. So even when you meet orders on the road for plan A, you continue to scale those orders. But reality would come in if you now get to a particular point where it's just clear that you can't forge ahead on the plan that you had initially. At that point, you would have to take that decision whether to then switch to plan B or even at times to switch to plan C. What you don't do is to switch at the first battle that you meet on the way or the first order that you meet on the way. You're not switching at that stage because you already have your plan. So you're going to keep trudging on, following the set rules that you've put in place for yourself to achieve that goal. But when you get to a point where you then have to pull out, then you just don't have a choice. That's why even in investment, you'll realize that we would have clauses that would allow you to be able to exit at a particular period or at a particular level. And you could also have reasons to take decisions that will enable you pull out, even if you don't want to, even if your own gut feelings tells you we could still do more. But those clauses were put in place simply because we've taken into cognizance the fact that things could switch. And when it's going to switch, it could switch very quickly such that you get trapped. So you may have to just pull out at a particular period, not because you want to pull out, not because you think or your gut feelings or experience said to you, I need to stay put here. We could still make some margins. We could still, cough in some mileage. It may just be better for you to exit at that point in time. So it's just, that's the way it is with life and business decisions. You must keep your plans open, knowing fully well that if anything goes wrong, then you have the next plot to go to. When you don't have any is when you run into trouble, because then you at the time you're meant to switch, you find it difficult to switch because you didn't put any plans in place. So then you keep struggling and struggling and struggling, and if you're not careful, you just kill it from there.
So yeah, it's kind of persevere, have your plans, but when you've tried your best and it still doesn't work, then you should learn to pivot. And for me, that was more of kind of navigating between being flexible and being and persevering. Because you hear stories of founders that persevered and they made it, and you also hear stories of founders that persevered and lost money, like the case of Google and Yahoo. So that for me, helps me to navigate. That.
And another thing he said that really stood out is because somebody, I think you made an example of having a friend that drives like a big
GLE.
car GLE, and then he's saying him having that car doesn't really mean he doesn't invest, because investing, right, is not something everybody can see. It's personal to you. So having a portfolio, you may not even know the person has a portfolio because they live large. Because I think people are different. He said something again. Money is meant to be spent.
Yes,
Yes,
money is meant
that
to be
money is
spent.
meant to be spent. So what you have to do is just look for ways to make more of it. Not like you want to restrict what you already have and say you won't start keeping. Just look for ways to double it, make more of it. Invest in assets that you can also use as leverage when you need it. So yeah, I think that episode was a very good one for me.
Yeah, it was a very rich episode. It's funny enough, it's a special episode called the Blueprint, and looking forward to making more
Of that.
blueprints. So I know it's January now, and we have a new tax rule, and everybody's paying more taxes. But remember, it does not cost any tax to subscribe. So just click that button, subscribe.
Like and also share. Thank you.
These are non-taxable events. Put it on your tax bill. All right. So season 2, right? What should people expect?
A lot. I think that season 2 will be way better because now we've planted our feet. We've brought people from different walks of life, portfolio managers, asset managers, fixed income analysts. Like they were teaching us the basics of what financing is and the basic of investing. So I think if we build on that going forward in our new episode, it will just help us to understand it. And if this is your first time watching Market Lens, I think you should actually watch the previous season because there's so much knowledge in it and you get to learn a lot from that. So
So some of the new themes for the deeper conversations, right? We're diving into this new year, this new season, is wealth building, right? And I think that's just more having more practical conversations around building wealth. Because I feel like lifestyle and finance in Nigeria is very key. We have a lot of people trying to live up to expectations, right? On one end, they're trying to make money, and on the other hand, they're trying to make it seem like they've made money.
I think that a lot of people always try to live for people's validation, which is actually not very good, because when you try to live for validation, you lose sight of your own parts, what you're supposed to do for yourself, and not what the other person is doing for themselves.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's easier said than done, though. And I think that's why we're going to have a lot of conversations
Yes,
around
around it,
you know,
yes.
and
And people that have experienced it come to the experience and how they were able to navigate it.
And I'm also looking forward to, having conversations about how, what types of lifestyle will help you reach your financial goals. Because I feel like there's a part of this whole finance and investing thing that is largely psychological. And if it's psychological, it affects other areas of your life.
Okay, one thing I would say is that when it comes to finance, people should be less emotional. Because I think a lot of people are emotional. Even business owners too can be emotional. And I think sometimes, yeah, bringing emotions into all these things, you just tend to make the wrong decisions,
Yeah.
right? So I think being less emotional actually helps a lot.
Yeah, yeah, we'll have conversations around that with interesting people. And finally, well, not finally, but the third one on my list that I'm really looking forward to, money culture in Nigeria. What do you think is the current money culture in Nigeria right now?
Well,
Like, how do we look at money? How do people consider money?
well, I'll say it can go in different angles because
Okay.
everybody experience is different. Somebody in Sokoto right now and somebody in Lagos. Because, okay, let's just say we just concluded December. We know the hype about IJGB, about 30 December hype.
That's in
Some people don't have
December.
that reality. That's the fact. Some people don't have that reality. Some people are just somewhere trying to get by with their pockets. And some people, what they want to do is just to spend, like, Ilashe today, clubs tomorrow,
Yeah,
like just want to be outside. So I feel like it's just different for everybody. Everybody with their own unique perspective
yeah. Do,
of
do you
what
ever
it
have
is.
this feeling that in general in Nigeria, we don't really understand the value of money? Because sometimes when I'm on social media and I hear things like, "Oh, money now water," I'm like, it's not
One
water.
thing I even know is that Nigerians have a problem with figures.
Mm,
Yes, because somebody can just come online and be like $1 billion, I'm like,
I've heard that
do
a
you know
lot.
what $1 billion
Someone
is?
comes, ah, he's a billionaire now. He has
What?
$5 billion. I'm like,
I'm like,
calm down.
come on, like, take a chill pill.
Yeah.
You don't know what, even $1 million is a whole $1,000. I'm going too far. $1,000.
No, that's a lot of money here. That's a lot of
Yeah,
money.
it is. But people just make it look as if it's like the barest. And I'm like, you have to work to make our economy. Our naira is not even that strong for it to just
Yeah.
call dollar like it is nothing. Like, I think people need to have more value for money.
Yeah, but we'll talk about
All
the
of
way they
that.
see money and everything.
Yeah.
All right, so earlier you talked about looking forward to some of the interesting guests that we're gonna
Yes,
bring on.
yes, that's
You
one
know,
thing I'm
so
looking forward to.
what are some types of guests that you would like to see? Or what types of guests do you think our audience would like to see?
Well, I'm all for the audience, right? It is what they want and what will help them grow. Because for me, if you ask me what I want, I'll be like, okay, I'm a young person too. I feel like a lot of our viewers are also young people. So as a young person,
Yeah.
what would I be expecting from Market Lens? So for me, I would want people that can help me build up on the knowledge I already have on finance.
Okay.
That is more experienced professionals,
Okay.
more people that already have their leg, not one leg, in two legs.
Two legs.
And they can just give me a brief rundown of their life and everything.
Okay.
Also, I think investors,
Okay.
founders, because I know a lot of young people, right? Even apart from investing, they want to do great things. They want to be the next
Big
thing, but they are just confused. They don't know how to go about it. And I want them to see Market Lens as that space where they can come to and watch people and then get
Insight. Yeah.
insight of what these people are doing right,
Yeah.
what I am doing wrong, and how can I make it right to
Okay.
pattern what they're also doing.
So I see a lot of content creators these days. Everybody wants to make money from content. Do you think, we should bring on a couple content creators?
Before I go into that, I want to say if Nigeria can emulate what China is doing,
What's China doing
you have to have a degree.
to create content?
Yes.
That
If
is
you
wild.
want to if you want to talk about a certain thing, you have to have a degree on it and be like, okay, you actually have experience in doing it. Because I feel like a lot of people just come online because they have a phone, they have a camera, they feel like they can talk to you. I'm not saying they are wrong. A lot of them they are correct, but it can be very misleading for people because now a lot of people growing up, they don't know right from wrong. They just consume everything they see, and it's not supposed to be like that. Everything is not supposed to be consumed in the same way because not everything is correct. So in China now, if you don't have a particular degree, you cannot teach people or even talk about things. So I know there are a lot of educated people online,
Yeah.
but even at that,
So
you have to
essentially,
be balance.
if we are bringing on people, and of course this is already the plan, is the people who have proven, through the
Yes.
track record that they know what they're talking about, that they know what they are doing. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Essentially.
And for Little Expo for you guys, if you know there's anybody you want us to bring on board, leave it in the comment
Yeah.
section.
Tell us in the comments.
Just tell us in the comment
Reach out to
section.
them. Tell
Yeah,
them they gotta come on market.
because we are here for you. And
We
yeah.
day for you. All right. So now, tell me one line, right, about what you feel or what you hope season 2 will unlock for people. Just one line.
a better financial perspective for people.
Okay, a better financial perspective for people. For me, it will be insightful conversations, right? That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
All right. So now, I think, we've pretty much rounded up our expectations, what we're expecting, even what our viewers can expect to learn from this new season. Is there any other thing you want to add?
Well, what I would say is that stay tuned to this channel this year because a whole lot of things, you'll learn a lot of things, knowledge, everything. Just stay tuned because your mind will be blown away.
Yeah, your mind will be blown away. That's true. I can second that. We have a lot planned for you guys, but of course, subscribe, share with your friends, and comment. We read your comments, and we always look forward to seeing them just to see what you guys think. And that even helps us to, just structure the show around what will bring the most value to you. We're really excited for season 2, and we hope that you are excited with us. Again, we are excited for our new host. It's okay. welcome again.
I'm excited to be here.
And of course, get ready for season 2. And always stay safe in the markets.
Bye.